Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Linda. Today we're going to be working on a DIY winter home decor piece. It's kind of a keepsake gift. I'll be focusing on using products from Reneabouquets.com. So let's get started. What I'm using as my base here, this is a piece of wood I got from Walmart. I had my husband cut it in half because it was really tall. And I'm going to be using this golden light modeling paste. You can get it at Michael's or Joann's, a spatula, whatever choice you want. And this is a stencil. You can get stencils at the major craft stores as well. And I chose the stencil because it kind of reminded me, all the little dots kind of reminded me of fallen snow. And basically, to use a stencil, you kind of dip your spatula into the modeling paste and then you just scrape it over the top as if you were frosting something over the top of the stencil. And then when you lift up your stencil, your design is underneath on your paper or your wood or your canvas or whatever thing you're using underneath. I'll do just a couple of pieces here and then I'll show you what it looks like before I continue on with this process. Here we go, and this is what it looks like, just tiny. I used white on white so that it's really subtle, you know, it's not really like in your face. I just wanted that little bit of texture in the background, and I'm just adding this texture around in the areas that I feel might not be covered up with the papers I'm going to be using. So off camera, I decided to add a little bit of color to my stencil area here. Now you can see it, it's a little bit too aqua, so I'm going back in with white, a pounce brush and my heat tool, doing the same process as I did with the aqua color, and just kind of toning that down a bit. And when I show you how it looks here in a minute, I actually add a little bit more off camera, so you don't hardly see the aqua too much at all. I just wanted it really, again, subtle in the background. So these are all my papers and things I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using aquas and grays today. I've got scrapbook paper I've cut up into different pieces. I've got journaling cards and ephemera pieces. You can get all these things in the scrapbook section. This little Dear Jack Frost, I printed it onto this little journaling card and then cut it to the size I wanted. Yeah, all these different kind of paper craft tags and things like that, definitely in the scrapbook sections at the craft stores. I've sewed all around the edges of my papers. Now normally I'm taking the open end of my scissor blades here and I'm scraping it along my paper for the texture, as you can see, and I would usually do that on all my papers, but I'm just doing it on a select few, just kind of alternating papers so that the texture isn't so blaring since I'm using so many pieces of paper today. I'll be using Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, and we're going to start at the top of my wood piece, adding in some long strips here. And I'm creating this design on this wood piece, and the wood piece is basically like my piece of paper. So, you know, a scrapbooker, they create layouts and they create them on papers. I'm just creating the same process on wood. So at the top of my page today, I'm using some white twine, some pom-pom trim, some teal and white baker's twine, some gray yarn from Walmart. And I'm just layering them all at the top. I kind of knot the ends and stuff, layering them at the top to, of course, give it texture. But I'm going to be sort of using some mini clothespins and kind of hanging my design from these cute little twine pieces and stuff. I'm using the pom-pom trim here because I thought it just kind of simulated like winter and snow and snowballs, of course. So I get all these pieces glued down, and I know all of this is going to look funny at first, but don't worry, it all comes together in the end. And often when I scrapbook, I don't quite go in order. I'll start one piece and then I'll set it aside and move on to something else. So you may see me kind of doing that a lot here today, but it will look good in the end when we're done. So I've got some ephemera pieces here. I chose ephemera pieces like this that says the story, to anything that has words or things like that, so that they all kind of go together and tell my theme or tell my story today. So here comes my little clothespin around all the twine and pom-pom trim onto the little piece of paper. I thought it was super cute. So this is an ATC card set. They come 2 cards and 2 little hearts. These come from Reneabouquets.com, and I've just covered it with some gray scrapbook paper, added that to the right side, adding some more scrapbook paper here, layering underneath. A lot of layering today. This is Reneabouquet Beautiful Board, printed Beautiful Board. Is called Snowman, and I showed you 2 sizes there. I'm going to be using the little tiny size. So here he goes in. I had to glue down my other paper first so I knew where I needed to glue my little snowman. He's so cute. Adding in some more layers of papers. Adding in this little journaling card. I chose this because of the number 2, because the picture I'm using today is of a couple. This little so noted tag, I do this a lot on papers. A lot of scrapbook papers have little edge pieces here that you normally cut off. But you know, if they have the right words on it, so noted is actually the name of the paper collection. But you know, cut it out and use it as journaling. So this is Beautiful Board laser cut chipboard from Reneabouquets. These are a set of 2 chunky chain link frames. I'm going to be using that today, and I'm going to wrap it around this scrapbook paper. Now, as you can see here, I have some cardboard already glued onto the back of my scrapbook paper, because Reneabouquets Beautiful Board products are about the thickness of a nickel. So usually when I use her product, you'll see me add cardboard to my papers to help everything level up, because if I would have just glued the paper onto the frame and then glued it down, it would have kind of sunk into the middle of all these other papers and it wouldn't have looked right. So I use the cardboard to make everything nice and level. Just gluing down some more ephemera over on this side. Since we added that little ensemble on the right, we want to make a little ensemble on the left. Adding some cardboard to this because it does kind of lay against that frame there. Adding another little ephemera piece here. Just a little bits and pieces poking out here and there. There we go. Here comes some more Reneabouquets Beautiful Board laser cut chipboard. These are a set of 6 first snow snowflakes. I'll be using some of those today. Also be using some of these snowflakes, which are called winter snowflakes. They come in a set of 6. Love these. Kind of pop out here. There we go, using those ones in my right hand there. And then also these are called Linda's Love Flakes. I love them. I'm going to be using the hearts out of this because they come with the snowflakes and little hearts. And yes, this product is named after me. Renee was so sweet. She knows I love hearts and things. So I'm going to use some of the tiny little hearts out of this. Going to be using this as well, called Let It Snow. It's Beautiful Words from Reneabouquets. This is a little library card ephemera piece. I thought it was so cute, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it in my pocket, but we'll kind of bring it out back and forth here and there. Not quite ready to glue it on yet. Adding some cardboard so when I do go to glue it later. Got some little clay wings here I made. I used this air dry modeling clay and this wing mold and make them myself. Let them air dry 24 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. These will kind of set up at the top underneath that little library card set. Adding some little cardboard here because the clay wing on this side kind of lays off the edge of the paper, and if it got hit just right it could just break, so I want to make sure it's all nice and sturdy underneath. Adding some cardboard here, we'll come back to that. Good, that's going to house our picture later. Adding some strips and things and ephemera pieces at the bottom of our layout, so to speak, just like we did at the top, so it kind of matches. Adding a little snowflake from Reneabouquets. Remember, these are called First Snow. I'll have all the links to the product I use in the description box from Reneabouquets, so if you're interested in any of them, you'll be able to find it. So this piece of paper, I added cardboard on either end and left the middle with no cardboard so they go right over the top of the snowflake. And then, of course, I want to add some pom-pom trim to kind of mirror the top, so it kind of brings it all together and unifies it. I love using pom-pom trim when I do winter things. I just think it's so cute. It just reminds me of those little snowballs. And then I'll bring in some of the little hearts here in a minute. Going to add some more snowflakes first. I'm going to add one onto the library card. Here comes another little clothespin. And this little ephemera piece, it's really cute. I love how it's heart to use, so love you. Glue it on top of our snowflake and then glue our clothespin on. We're not quite ready to glue this down yet. We're going to go ahead and glue our Let It Snow down. Just kind of part of our title. Glue down some more snowflakes. I'm just kind of gluing snowflakes around the different areas, you know, so it all ties in together. This is a sticker. I glued some cardboard too. I wanted it to just not be a real bold sticker, so it's just real light, mild, so it's a little bit more journaling but not in your face, doesn't detract from the main focus of the layout today. Here comes Dear Jack Frost. I thought that was super cute. That font is called Silver Charm from defont.com, I believe. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of cardboard underneath that so it looks a little dimensional on top of our little library pocket. And then a cute little arrow ephemera piece just to kind of bring up that aqua tone a little bit. Adding another little snowflake to that clothespin. Here comes our focal point in just a minute. Going to glue the little hearts down. Gluing a little resin piece. You can get these spare parts, resin pieces, all sorts of different designs and things at Hobby Lobby, and this is just a little like a little photo corner, gluing that down as well. This is the focal piece. This is my niece and nephew. I love this photo. I took some little gray and white baker's twine and wrapped it around the bottom and made a little bow just to kind of bring in the baker's twine that I used at the top of our layout today. She is like my muse. Whenever I go to create and I will like to paper craft, she is so photogenic, and when they do photos together, I just love it. And so when I saw this, I'm like, please, can I use your photo on my next project? She's like, of course. I'm like, make some room on your wall. So they are, of course, being glued down, adding a little heart at the top here from Reneabouquets. Came with that ATC card at the beginning. And finally, we get to glue down our library card. Glue down our little Jack Frost is another part of the title. And I've got these little sequin sets here that has like little gems in there. And I thought they just reminded me of like, you know, snow and things like that. So I've got them around. I've laid them already on my layout, and I'm just kind of going around and using my little pickup tool to pick the little gems up and then, you know, adding the glue and then popping those back down into place. Thought it would just add a little bit of, you know, twinkle to the layout for winter snow. I'm going to be using 3D matte gel today, and these are called art stones. I'll have a link down below where you could find those, but this is Gaudy Girl German glass glitter from Reneabouquets. It's a diamond shade, which is clear and it's very fine. Thought it'd be great for snow. But what I do is I use this 3D matte gel. Now you could use Mod Podge or regular glue, but make sure it dries clear. And I'm first going in with these art stones. They're really lightweight. They weigh nothing. And I thought I'd put those on because they reminded me of like little snowballs. And I put them on really heavy. I take the 3D matte gel, I paint it on with my paintbrush, and then I dump a ton of those art stones right on top. And then once I've got everything into place, I'll flip this over off camera and then tap off the excess. And then it'll just leave a little bit of the art stones, not as many as you see here. But I'll do the same process with the glitter glass. There you go. See, it just leaves a little bit. What's left sticks to the glue. Now I'm coming in with the glitter glass and I'm adding this around as well. And you can now see I've got a drip pan underneath, that little purpley drip pan there. Paint on the 3D matte gel, or like I said, you could use like Mod Podge as long as it dries clear, of course, or like Beacon Fabri-Tac glue. Throw your glitter glass on top. I usually go all around, add it, and then I turn it over and dump off the excess. And the remaining, of course, will stick to your adhesive. And I'm just putting it everywhere that, you know, just adding a little bit of shine and glitz and glitter like winter snow. I'm adding a little bit, yes, even off the edge of the wood. I add that around the project, of course. Just showing you this entire process. And then once I get all this into place, this project will be, you know it, complete. We'll continue on with a little more of this. I love how it turned out. I think it's just going to be so special. Really, really hope she likes it. I've made her quite a few gifts already. I will have those links in the description box for you of other Reneabouquets products. I have made paper craft type products using her as my centerpiece, of course, if you want to check those out. In the meantime, here is my end result. I think it just turned out so beautiful, and all the product from Reneabouquets I think just took it up a notch. It achieved the wintry but kind of romantic look that I was going for. I really hope you enjoyed this process, and if you are new to paper crafting, hopefully this kind of gave you a look inside of, you know, how paper crafting is done and how you can just kind of take it to the next level to use for home decor as a keepsake in your home, of course. I will have all the links down below, as I mentioned earlier, to all the product I use for Reneabouquets.com. Please give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you like this project or not. I really enjoy hearing from you all, and I thank you all so much for your support. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on a single video from me. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.